degli allenatori italiani, dicendo che non è che...
A couple of questions. I read an interview recently where you spoke about Italian coaches, and apparently you said that not all of them are good ones, that many times, often, they lack courage. So regarding Daniele De Rossi, do you believe that he's courageous, that he's brave enough? And do you expect him tomorrow to defend with a 3 or a 4-man back line? Actually, I was referring to the typical Italian mindset. But if we take a look, if we look back at the recent championships, leagues, and especially if we refer to Daniele De Rossi, well, things have changed dramatically compared to the last 10 or 15 years. If we look at this Serie A, current Serie A, Atalanta with Gasperini has always showed courage. Same applies to Vincenzo Italiano, to Thiago Motta, or even in the championship, a Serie B team, Catanzaro, under Vivarini. And regarding De Rossi, yes, I believe that he was born to be a coach. A couple of years ago, I was talking to him during the international break for the World Cup. I believe that he was not coaching Spal yet, and I said that I was pretty sure that he would become a great coach because he has everything that a coach needs: personality, charisma. I know him, and I'm very happy for him that he's doing so well because he's changing a team that was already good, a team that had already achieved 2 finals, and is getting very good results. It's not automatic. You cannot take it never for granted. So he's on the right track to become a great coach, and indeed I believe that he already is a great coach. And personally, I don't know how he's going to play tomorrow to defend. I don't know how I'll be playing myself, so you can imagine if I know how they are going to do it.
Buonasera, Roberto Maida, Corriere dello Sport.
Daniele De Rossi defined you as a genius. Do you feel yourself, do you perceive yourself as a genius, or at least a visionary, as someone who's able to anticipate things? And then speaking about tomorrow's game, Daniele De Rossi said that Roma is probably better players than Brighton. Do you agree with him? Well, no, not at all. I don't see myself as a genius. I don't think I'm better than others, but I'm not scared to work hard. And of course, I do not lack courage. What probably makes the difference in my career is my love and my passion for football. And I don't see myself as smarter than others. But really, I'm really honest about this. But yes, it's true that if I believe in something, if I want to try something different because I believe it, I'm not scared of it. I do not think even too much about any potential negative consequences. Regarding De Rossi, well, we are, as you know, good friends with each other. First of all, because we respect each other as people. It's not a coincidence that our daughters are good friends, probably because we share the same values. Roma is and was under Mourinho a strong team. It's an experienced team has experience, but we are here to to play, to be competitive, and we will give it a go. We will be humble, but we know what we are worth. We know what we have done so far over the past 1 year and a half, and we are here not only to reach the last 8 of the competition, but because we are writing history. And this is something unprecedented for this club that means too much both to club and our fans.
Salve Mr. Maurizio Pizzoferrato, Agenzia Areas.
Coach, as you probably know, over the past few years, supporters, fans in this stadium score goals. They literally score goals. They push the team so hard that they barely score goals. Do you believe that your team will have any fear? Will this be a factor for Brighton? And how disappointed are you to play this very important game with so many injured players missing? Well, we will see tomorrow about the stadium, but we already played at Old Trafford and we won. We played away at Marsiglia and we drew 2-2. We played also away against the ICAP Athens, a very hot stadium, and we won as well. I know the Olimpico very, very well. I know how hard they push. It's going to be a test, that's for sure, but in my opinion, this should motivate us. This should give us an extra boost. I've been coaching for 10 years now. I've changed 5 or 6 teams, and this is the team where the players are more similar to me in terms of pride, hunger, dignity, motivation, values. Both young and senior players, how they live football, they are very similar to me. And as for the rest, the pitch will be our judge. Injuries, well, we have 2 ways to approach this. We can either complain and cry about it, or we take it as a chance and we try to compete also with these missing players. And plus, no one can guarantee us that with Mitoma, João Pedro, Milner, and so forth, we would have gone through, or someone tells us that we cannot go through without them. So I already said this also to my players. I don't want to listen any complaint because we are abbastanza, we are enough to be competitive.
Ask, what's your overriding emotion bringing this Brighton team back to Italy, back to your homeland? Is it pride, or how do you feel? And also, can I ask you, which team is your daughter going to be supporting tomorrow night?
No, mia figlia non tifa la Roma.
Regarding my daughter, no, my daughter is not a Roma supporter. Maybe Daniele De Rossi was misunderstood. My daughter and his daughter, Gaia, they were watching a game together, and of course they were supporting Roma, but when someone is playing against her father, of course she will support me, I have no doubt about this. Even myself, I was supporting Roma when they played the penalties shootout against Feyenoord, so no doubt at all about who's going to support my daughter. And as far as the first question is concerned, yes, absolutely. I'm very proud to be back in my country with this team. I usually fall in love with all my teams and my players. It happened in Foggia, in Benevento, in Sassuolo, even at Shakhtar, where I only spent 6 months, but I felt very attached to that team and that environment. But this is a team that I really love. This is a team that can lose 3-0, that can be trashed, can be overwhelmed, but also you have to take a look at the level of this team, and they always bounce back. They always react after heavy defeats. We pick ourselves up, and how do we do it? By fighting, by playing with pride and with hunger. So therefore I'm really proud to be in Italy with this team.
Ciao Roberto, buonasera. Da osservatore delle tue partite.
Recently, Brighton has gone through a difficult spell, probably due to these absences, because you may decide not to complain about it, but it's a given, it's a fact. So could tonight game in UEFA Europa League be the right time for your team to find the spark back? Well, we chose to compete in all competitions. For us, tomorrow's game, to try to achieve the last 8 of the UEFA Europa League will not be more important than the Brighton-Nottingham scheduled for next Sunday. We are not used to play 3 games per week for so long. That's why we reached such a high level of injured players. Plus, our squad is not so deep. If you take a look at West Ham last year that won the Conference League, they fought not to be relegated. Leicester, that Roma beat here 2 years ago in a semi-final, last year they were relegated. If you look at Bundesliga, Freiburg is 10th, Union Berlin played Champions League for the first time, and they are both struggling. Sevilla and Villarreal in Spain, they are 14th on the table and 10th. Gent in France, Rennes, Toulouse, Lens, they're a good team. They're now doing a little better, but they all were knocked out of the European competitions. So what does this mean? That if we are having some problem, if we are a little bit struggling, that's absolutely normal. We are not used, we do not have experience to compete at this level for so many things. And if you do it, you lose something, but still the level remains high.
Good evening, Roberto.
Good evening.
This is the first time that 90 minutes is half time. Does that make any difference to the way you approach a two-legged tie, particularly with the first leg away from home? Does it make any difference to the way you approach it? And if so, what is the difference?
Sì, è la prima volta nel Brighton.
Well, it's true it's first time for Brighton. It's not the first time for me, because when I was at Shakhtar, we played the preliminary rounds to have access to the UEFA Champions League, and we beat over 4 games, Genk in semi-final and then Monaco. So it's true, it's going to be 180 minutes at least, double match, and we have to strike the right balance between being ourselves, not losing our identity, but at the same time try to remember that it will not be over today, because we have 90 more minutes to play.
Buonasera mister, Francesco Iucca, TV Play Calciomercato.
Is it so unlikely to see you one day in the near future back coaching in Serie A in Italy? And if not, is it due to economic reasons, or maybe because you believe the Premier League is the right place for you, or somehow better than Italy? Do you think about it, or you don't even contemplate this? No, it's not true that I don't think about it, but usually I do what I like. I do what makes me happy, and right now is to be where I am. And I'm lucky enough to be able to compete with this team at this level, to play these games. And it makes me happy, of course, when we win, but also when we lose. I feel something special. One day I will come back to Italy. I don't know when this day will come. But it's true that when I made the choice a couple of years ago to go to Shakhtar, I did it because I wanted to find a way outside Italy, and without going too much into details. There were some things in Italy that I didn't like, and so I decided to try something else.
Hello, Pascal. Ask you a question, please. The manager says you're writing history here. How much history can you write, and how does it feel to be breaking new frontiers with Brighton?
I think we're already writing history, because it will be our first knockout game of the club's history in European football. We know where we come from. It was not an easy way to get here, so we will be humble, but we're also full of confidence, and we're really looking forward to play that game tomorrow.
Pascal, thank you for your time. Rome, an ancient city, very enticing and inspiring, obviously an arena of gladiators here. Do you find actually being in this city quite inspiring as an athlete? Yeah,
I think it's a beautiful city. I was here before, 1 year ago, and I like the city a lot. The movie Gladiator is one of my favorite movies, and but I'm here for different reasons now, and it's even nicer to be here today, because what I just said, we're really excited for the game tomorrow.